It's amazing to me how much ego, the mind, the brain, whatever you want to call it, how much this thing in me tells me that I'm not allowed to be happy. How many limitations it places on joy, on just feeling good. All of this, I'm not allowed to feel good until fill in the blank, until this situation changes, until this thing is resolved, until this person changes, until they feel or act a different way. All of that, just a limitation for happiness. What it is that I really want to feel is good, right? That's what I'm reaching for. That's what I'm seeking to create a change in order to enact this whole notion that, I want to feel good, but I can't feel good until this thing occurs. That's just made up. That's just the mind limiting joy. None of that is true. That is just an excuse created by the mind to keep us out of joy right now. Because then we keep thinking. And if we keep thinking, we keep the mind-made self alive. And that's what it wants, actually. And if we discover that, I don't need something to change in order to just feel good, I can let go of that. Doesn't mean you don't want something. You can still want the thing. You just don't need that thing to feel good in this moment. Nothing has to change for you to feel good in this moment. And there's all kinds of beliefs that I find over and over just knocking around in there saying, I can't feel good until A, B, or C happens. I can't feel good until the situation with the condo that I'm trying to move out of is resolved. I can't feel good until I get things sorted out with my cat and I know what's going to happen with it. I can't feel good if other people don't feel good. That's a big one. I'm not allowed to feel good. I can't feel good if somebody else feels bad. That's a huge one that I've noticed. And guess what? All of those things, especially that last one, are going to keep you out of joy forever. Perpetually. You're never going to meet the condition and reach an end of those requirements that say this has to happen before I can feel good. So you're never going to get to the place where you're allowed to feel good unless you give yourself permission to just feel good now. To just feel good right now, regardless of any of this other stuff. None of this, none of this has to happen. Nothing needs to change. That is all just totally made up. It's a belief, it's a thought that I'm buying into and making a belief. But what do I want? What I want is to feel good, and I have the power to feel good right now just by dropping that belief, by recognizing it as bogus, by recognizing that's not true. That's not a requirement. There's no gatekeeping to my joy. I don't need this situation to be resolved to feel good. I want to feel good. I have this imagined idea that has somehow connected this situation to my feeling good. I can just disconnect those things, realize there is no relation there, and that I get to just feel good now. That I'm allowed. I am allowed. I have permission. I give myself the permission. I am allowed to just feel good because I want to. That's it. What a statement that is. I am allowed to feel good just because I want to. I don't need anything to change. I don't need anything to be a certain way. I don't need anybody to be a certain way. I don't even need my own thoughts to change. I don't need them to stop. I don't need to change in order to feel good. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I certainly don't need other people to feel any certain kind of way. If somebody doesn't feel good, even if it's apparently in direct relation to me, that doesn't have to change in order for me to feel good. I am allowed to feel good even when other people feel bad. Bad feeling just perpetuates itself. Emotion just begets itself. You gotta make the choice. I gotta make the choice in this moment. The only time that I get to feel good is right now, and that means I have to choose it in the now. You can't feel good in the future. You can't feel anything in the future. By the time it gets here, it's now. So it's always gotta be this moment, this instance. I am choosing to feel good, and I'm gonna keep paying attention to these limitations, these blockades set up in my mind against feeling joy. What is it that I'm using as an excuse not to just feel good right now? What is it that I think has to happen, has to take place first in order for me to then feel good? And can I see that I can just circumvent that occurrence? I don't need, that's just an excuse. That's just a limitation on my joy. That's just keeping me out of joy right now. Can I realize I don't need that thing to happen to feel good? I get to just feel good. I get to just have the result without the procedure in between. In fact, the whole procedure is my realizing that I can jump straight into joy. And not all the time. Sometimes I need to feel sadness. Sometimes I want to feel sadness, and I can appreciate that too. But what am I using as an excuse right now to keep myself out of feeling good? Keep asking that question.